Hello, dear friends, all lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of Biafra land. Long live United States of Biafra. Long live the good people of Biafra. My people, in this video, you will learn a lot. So do not be in a hurry. Tighten your seatbelts and watch this video. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share this video and also give us a thumbs up. Thank you and God bless you. Let's go.
We have a major breaking development coming out of Sokoto State today, Thursday, December 18, 2025, that changes the entire complexion of the situation surrounding the leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For weeks, there has been speculation, there has been anxiety, and there have been questions about who is actually checking on the welfare of the IPOB leader since his transfer to the Northwest. Well, the answer has landed, and it is a massive one. The Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, the Most Reverend Matthew Hassan Kuka, has officially visited Nnamdi Kanu inside the Sokoto Correctional Center. This is not just a rumor. This has been confirmed by a very credible voice in the human rights community, Omoyele Sowore. The former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress took to his platform today to disclose this historic meeting. Sowore did not mince words. He openly commended Bishop Kuka for this bold move. In his statement, Sowore said, "Thank you so much, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, for taking the time to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today." He went further to explain the weight of this visit, noting that as the distinguished Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Kuka's presence symbolizes his solidarity and indeed the solidarity of the entire Sokoto diocese with Nnamdi Kanu in this time of what he calls distress. Now, let us unpack why this time of distress is the key phrase here. Remember exactly where we are coming from. It was only on November 20, 2025 that the Federal High Court in Abuja shook the nation with its ruling. Justice James Omotosho delivered a judgment that many are still debating today. Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on 7 counts of terrorism-related offenses brought against him by the federal government. These charges included incitement and unlawful broadcasts. The ruling was heavy, a life imprisonment sentence. It was a day that changed the legal narrative completely, moving from detention without trial to a conviction. But the drama did not end with the gavel hitting the desk. Immediately after that conviction, on November 21, the authorities wasted no time. Acting on a court directive that specifically excluded Kuje Prison as a holding facility, they moved Nnamdi Kanu out of Abuja. He was transferred all the way to the Sokoto Custodial Center. This transfer is the reason why Bishop Kuka's visit today is so critical. By moving him to Sokoto, the court essentially placed him in Bishop Kuka's backyard, making him the bishop's spiritual neighbor. This transfer has been the subject of intense legal fireworks ever since. Kanu's defense team has been shouting from the rooftops that this move was a strategic disadvantage. They have filed motions insisting that the sheer distance between Abuja and Sokoto is hindering Kanu's ability to fight back. Think about it. How do you prepare for a complex appeal against a life sentence when your lawyers are 700 kilometers away? The defense is arguing that this distance prevents them from accessing court records efficiently and makes it nearly impossible to have the necessary interactions with their client to build a solid case for the Court of Appeal. This is why the visit by Bishop Kuka is seen as a major humanitarian intervention. It shines a light on a prisoner who the defense claims is being isolated by geography. The defense has also been very vocal about the flaws they see in the trial itself. They have argued consistently that Nigeria lacked the jurisdiction to prosecute Kanu for broadcasts that were made in the United Kingdom. They described the trial process as rushed and flawed, and now, with the difficulties posed by his detention in Sokoto, they are fighting a battle on 2 fronts: the appeal against the conviction and the fight for a transfer back to Abuja. It is interesting to note that Bishop Kuka is not the first profile figure to walk through those prison gates in Sokoto. The source confirms that back in late November, just shortly after the transfer, the Abia State Governor, Dr. Alex Otti, made the journey to Sokoto. But today's visit by Bishop Kuka adds a spiritual and moral dimension that politicians simply cannot bring. When a figure like Bishop Kuka, who is known globally for his stance on justice and truth, steps in, it validates the concerns raised by activists like Sowore. It signals that despite the conviction, despite the terrorist label attached by the court judgment, Nnamdi Kanu has not been abandoned by the moral guardians of the country. Sowore's commendation highlights this perfectly. He sees it as an act of solidarity. You have to ask yourself, what was discussed in that cell? While the details of their conversation remain private, the mere fact that the bishop took the time, as Sowore put it, is a message to the authorities that the eyes of the world and the church are watching what happens in that Sokoto facility. As we process this news, it is crucial to remember the legal context. The judgment by Justice Omotosho was very specific. Kanu was to be detained in any correctional facility except Kuje prison. That order is what landed us in this situation where the leader of IPOB is in the seat of the caliphate. The legal team is still pushing hard, filing motions to reverse this, arguing that you cannot prosecute a man and then hide him away where he cannot defend himself properly. This story is developing rapidly. We have gone from a conviction in November to a controversial transfer and now to high-level visits by governors and bishops in December. It shows that the Nnamdi Kanu story is far from over. It has entered a new phase, the Sokoto phase, where the battle is as much about access and human rights as it is about the law. I know many of you watching this are deeply invested in seeing how this plays out. It's a complex web of law, politics, and faith. If you appreciate us breaking down these sources and bringing you the facts as they unfold, please do well to smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and ensures that more people get to hear the truth. And if you are not yet part of this community, please click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We will be tracking the outcome of the legal motions mentioned in this report and any further visits to the Sokoto Correctional Center. The coming days will tell us if Bishop Kuka's visit will influence the authorities to reconsider the detention location or if the legal motions for transfer will finally be heard. Until then, the fact remains, the Bishop of Sokoto has visited the prisoner of Sokoto.
Nnamdi Kanu's welfare in Sokoto is not bad in the sense that in terms of feeding and visit, it doesn't lack anything. But the only problem is the distance from Sokoto to Abuja, where he's going to do his appeal in the appeal court. So that is the only problem he has. And again, if he's in Abuja, many Biafrans will like to be visiting him on daily basis. In fact, they will turn Abuja into another Mecca, just like what they did in Sokoto, turning Sokoto into a Mecca, thereby bringing a lot of tourists into Sokoto's economy and also making Sokoto to be a fertile ground for investment.